the Premier Sports Campus in Lakewood Ranch, Florida for the 2019 USAFL National Championships. And yes, we've made it to the final game of the day, the 9th game of the day here on Field 2. It's a Women's Division II match between the Philadelphia Lady Hawks and the Sacramento Lady Suns. The Hawks have players from the Arizona Lady Hawks, the Boston Demons, the Baltimore Dockers, while the Sacramento Lady Suns have the New York Magpies reserves. My name is Brian Barish, glad to be with you, and the man who's been with you for all the women's games here today, Peter Holden. Pete, this game, both teams are assured of a spot in the semifinals. The winner gets to go up against Montreal, but the loser has to face DC. Kind of a pretty good motivation to win the game.
And I should also apologise to fans that Erin Phillips has gone on to go watch another game. She's busy with a few things, so I don't sound like Erin. I'm not as knowledgeable as Erin, and I certainly do not have the skills that Erin has.
That's okay. But in this game, I mean, there is still the motivation, and these teams want to get a run in before they go to the semifinals tomorrow.
And you know, sometimes there can be production drags. Who do you prefer as the other opponent as you come into the semifinals? Who do you think, as much as you might want to finish top, who do you better match up against?
All right, we're underway. The Philadelphia Hawks are going from right to left, as the Sacramento Suns going from left to right. Here's Rose Stokely going after the football. Ball goes to ground, and Lauren Greenberg with a half Nelson on her opponent on. I wasn't sure who that was. It may have been Flock, but the umpire, Lori Roop, crosses her arms and say, let's ball this up. As the ball goes in the air, that's Danielle Marshall in the ruck. She, of course, saw the first American signed by an AFLW team. And the ball gets knocked forward, going over to get it. I think that's Walsh who couldn't get the football. It's locked in there. The umpire says play on, and over to get it is Wilhelm. That's Melissa Wilhelm who sends that one in towards the sticks. It'll roll, it'll skip, it'll stay in play, and then picked out by Jenna Tepoletti, who won the longest kick yesterday.
Ball on the outer side of the ground, trying to go in there and harass. The umpire said, no, you can play on. I think it was well in there, trying to get it out. Now the umpire comes in and says, Melissa Wilhelm, formerly Melissa Armstrong, wraps up the opponent and will call for a ball up. Of course, Melissa played on this ground 3 years ago, but for the San Francisco Iron Maidens, played in that famous game where they beat Denver, but did her ACL that day.
Yeah, she did. And what's the interesting thing is, in 3 years, think of how far the Arizona Lady Hawks have come, because that's always been her team. She played for San Francisco for that one season ahead of the International Cup the next year.
As the ball is still caught in heavy traffic on the outer side of the ground, it's smacked forward. Trying to run onto the football there is the number 13, Alexandra Pike, originally off the Boston list. Got smacked away from the hands there of Leslie Gartner. Gartner wanted to have a second crack at it, tries to extract the football out, almost catching it. Umpires allowing what's best described as a rugby maul go on, very appropriate with the Rugby World Cup on at the moment. Trying to go in again for another effort at it. Can't quite get it out. Wrapped up Husing, tries to get it out. And then almost a throw by Bishop. Umpire missed that. Heavy traffic is going to see the Sacramento Suns come away with it, but only as far as the 33 and Lauren Kelly. Coming through the gates is Dottie Marshall, and she unloads for a minor score. My God, talk about an A-grader playing with, no offense, D-graders. That was just, where did that come from?
I mean, the last time I saw something like that was a couple of years ago when Jess Wuchner, who, by the way, plays for the Brisbane Lions, played for the Boston Lady Demons. I mean, it's just a complete night and day. The ball comes back in. It's 1-0 on the Cooper scoreboard. Philadelphia 1, Sacramento 0, and everybody down mushroom farming as Greenberg couldn't get to it. That one is sent in. Again, going after Welsh, and that one bounds away. Over to get it is Abby Miklas, one of the rookies from Arizona, and then Sacramento able to clear it up on the far side. There are two white jumpers there. Bishop is able to knock that one down. Again, going after it is Sacramento. They turn it over. Long handball up high, long kick up high. There goes Lauren Greenberg. Kicks that one up high. It'll go inside 50. Take a bounce over a defender. Queen bowls Miklas again. Stacks on the mill. Miklas tries to stay through it, and then running through and picking that one up, I believe, was Bressiker. Sarah Bressiker for Sacramento, and the ball goes out of bounds. 1-0 Philadelphia opening minutes of this Division II game.
Yeah, just got a notice in here. U.S. Missile Command on alert after that bomb from Marshall.
Oh, goodness.
As the ball is thrown back into play, and Marshall's going to do the ruck work on this occasion. Punch the ball forward, then try to go for a hurry kick off the carpet. Trying to get in there as Mick has to try and hold on to it, but the Sacramento Suns are going to come out Sacramento defense with a long, high kick. Put it in towards heavy traffic in the middle of the ground. Roman through, immediately caught, dispossessed of the football. Wants to go back in for a second crack at it. Ball is on the deck, fighting in hard there. The 33 and Lauren Kelly. Can't quite get the football out. Bishop wants to jump in there as well. Watching on there is Avia. She can get in there for the Sacramento Suns. She cannot. Ball goes out in the direction there of Miklas. Can she get to the football? She's got haunched over it. Can't quite pick it up. Didn't want to commit to it. Alexandra Pike goes in there representing Boston, playing for Philly today. But it's the Suns that are going to come away with the football.
Up the far side they come. The Suns trying to get some possession, but she's going to be wrapped up for Christmas up on that far side. And it looks like it is going to be a free kick. I didn't see the call, Pete. I wonder if that was. I wonder if it may have been high contact, but well, it is going to be a free kick. So here are the Suns. Again, they have a couple of players from the New York Magpies from their reserve side. As that one is kicked in and it's dropped, ball goes to ground. Everybody goes over it. Greenberg trying. Well, no, she's keeping vigil. As that one is kicked in again, Welsh trying to dig in after it. Diane Welsh from Boston. The ball tumbles out of bounds to 1-0 Philadelphia on the Cooper scoreboard. I mean, so it's been interesting. Sacramento still in that Division II status, even though they brought the number of players they did. Philadelphia with more players this year, and of course we mentioned the growth of Arizona as well. As that one goes in up over the top, it's marked by Pike. Alex Pike sends that one in towards the sticks. Gartner, yes! And she's going to ram it home. Leslie Gartner. And that might be her first goal with the Philadelphia Hawks, and that extends the lead. Philadelphia, 1 goal, 1 behind. That's 7 points. Sacramento 0, 7-0 Philadelphia.
Well, we should remind everyone that Philadelphia are no strangers to a Division II title. Just a couple of years ago, they did team up with the Portland Sockeyes to take home the flag in San Diego.
Yeah, they did, and I'll tell you what, they're still riding the high off of that. And all the players that they had, from that Division II run are still on this team. So they know what it takes to get through, and they're hungry to get back again.
As the umpire says, we'll ask the football back. Danielle Marshall there fighting hard for it. Like when Erin Phillips said that she didn't want to do commentary, she wanted to watch the game. Maybe she's watching Marshall thinking, I might be playing against you in a couple of months' time if the Bulldogs and the Crows draw each other in the fixture. As they kick long up towards the centre half forward position here for the Hawks, but it's going to be sent back from whence it came for the Sacramento Suns. Apologies, we don't call their numbers that often. A few are missing, plus white on yellow isn't exactly the easiest number for commentators to see, as Perez tried to lay on a tackle, but it was Marshall went with a bomb towards the forward 50. Trying to come in there to lay the tackle is Husing, and the umpire over dramatically drops the arms and says that's G-O-N-E gone.
And I really, really like Olivia Husing, and this her second full season, and she's really quick. She's deceptively quick, and she's tenacious, as you saw there.
Husing on the right boot goes towards the goal square. It almost dropped out the back, and there's the hurried sock off the carpet, but I think that might be out of bounds in the full. I think it was Schaefer that just went for the indiscriminate kick, and it will be a free kick going the way it should be. The umpire thought about throwing it in, but now he awards the ball and says, number 11, Leslie Gardner, you're going to have a shot on goal.
A native of Silver Spring, Maryland, who, by the way, is the physical trainer for the Philadelphia 76ers of the NBA. That's an odd angle. It's going to drop in, and the result of all of that looks like to be it's a goal. No, it's a goal. Wow, from the impossible angle. So Gartner has her second, one from dead in front and one from, well, the eye of the needle stuff, and Philly extends their lead. Philadelphia 13, Sacramento nothing. Philadelphia 2-1-13, Sacramento no score. And this is someone, Pete, who earlier in the season was playing as a ruck, but when you have Danny Marshall playing in the ruck, you can play her just about anywhere.
So Gardner can now go to Ben Simmons. This is how you do it from the corner. as the ball's in the middle of
we might have to show that too.
As the umpire says, let's call for a ball up, and we'll reset play there as Wilhelm was on the bottom of the pack. Congratulations to Wilhelm, adding another baby to the family during the year, and I saw her walking around in the stroller earlier. 2 babies, of course, as we know, with Drake as we mentioned earlier today, having Atlas, and I think it's been 8 weeks since Atlas was born.
Yep.
She's out there playing superhuman strength.
Yes, and that's Paul Rue's winner in 2020. Here comes Wilhelm.
And Wilhelm on the right boot. And the mark is going to be intercepted in 2020. That's impressive as a 1-year-old.
Yeah, I was going to say, maybe it's 2040. I don't know.
I go, that is really impressive. Get the contract out.
Pete, it's been a long night. A ball goes to ground up on the far. Well, you know, I mean, think of, you know, Drea and Mike are really good footy players. I wouldn't put it past them. We'll see what happens. Meanwhile, back at the ranch, again, they send that one juggled and caught by the 17. Well, I'm not sure who that is. I don't know if it was on the list here, but in any event, and that one is sent in, and that's marked defensively by Green, by Ashley Green, who competed in the skills competition last night. Green will go in short, clean bowls, but goes and picks that one up. There was Christine Flock. Flock dropped the footy, and she is gone, and again, it's Gartner, and Gartner has been in on the play. She's done a phenomenal job, those 2 goals. Well, this is less of an angle, and you would think if she could kick it from the angle, this wouldn't challenge her. This one, well, it'll start left, and in fact, it's short. Tapoletti, I believe, got to it before the line, and she did. Still 13-0, Philadelphia the lead midway through the first half.
As the kick out from defense is long and juggling the football, Leslie Gartner. She's got all the tricks. You sure she's not working for the Harlem Globetrotters rather than the 76ers? Cue the music as she gets on the right. But look at that nice little kick over the top. That's smart. That's well weighted.
Lauren Greenberg, formerly Lauren Kelly, takes the mark.
Now, the question is Leslie Gartner on the USAFL Freedom Program? Because if not, you might be just going, oh, good, because you'll be going, yep, let's just write down that name. Impressive. Now the shot on goal, just to the line there, and it'll be touched through from Lauren Kelly and register as a minor score. So the score check, 2-2-14, leading no score. That is Philadelphia 14, Sacramento, last year's champions, no score.
That's Peter Holden. I'm Brian Barish. Great to have your company. The last game, remember, we'll be back at it again, 8 a.m. Eastern time here from Field 2 and over on Cooper's Field. Leslie Gartner, one of 3 players from the Hawks to make it to the program. And hey, call that Marshall. Danny Marshall takes a contested mark. Now, she isn't that superhuman, although I think this is going to be a little past her reality, as she's going to line up. Oh, well, she might have proven me wrong. She might have proven me wrong. Oh, but it bounced into the behind post, I think. It has, and it bounced, so it should be a boundary throw-in. I mean, I think she may have heard me that she couldn't have kicked from that far. Even with the bounce, it still carried pretty well. So a boundary throw-in coming in the shadow of the behind post. Philadelphia leads 14-0. Both of these teams are through. It's just a matter of who plays whom tomorrow, as the winner will get Montreal. The loser has to deal with a very good DC side. Ashley Green picks it up, stabs that kick forward. It rolls across like a cockroach on the bathroom floor. Rose Stokely throwing herself at the footy. It bounces out. Marshall, little chip kick, goes into the pocket. Terse is going to chase after it, and the ball is going to find the boundary line and out of bounds. On the Cooper scoreboard, 14-0 Philadelphia.
I will make a prediction at next year's USAFL Nationals, because Erin Phillips claims that she'll be coming back to the Nationals year after year after year after this. At next year's Nationals, Danny Marshall will sign more autographs than Erin Phillips. I am on the record.
I wouldn't put that out of the realm of possibility.
As the umpire blows the whistle and says that's holding the football, and it will be a free kick to Melissa Wilhelm, who's feeling the side of her chest going, I think I might run a dentist. Gives away the free kick to the Sacramento Suns. Just calling for it short as Sequeira. And they go in that direction, but there was a shank kick off the side of the boot.
Out of bounds. Almost
chased up there by Green. The ball is, by the player in Brescia. And the umpire will throw the ball back into play. That's pressure, not pressure by Billy Joel.
Ding, 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 ding. Oh, wait, that's
pressure.
Yes.
I'm sorry, I saw him in concert a few weeks ago.
And you won't shut up about it.
Absolutely. As the ball is thrown back into play, hurry kick, trying to come and attack the football there, Sequeira. Can't quite get it out. Tackle being laid on there by number 10, Karen Stablin, and the umpire will ask for the football back, and we will go again. Just crosses the arms, checks behind him, make sure he's not running into heavy traffic when he does this. Danielle Marshall almost got falconed in that. Ball hit the deck. Trying to get the ball out originally was Ashley Green. Now the Suns with an opportunity to come off their last line of defence. It's a long, high ball. Punched away at the last second. That is excellent work. I think it was knocked away from Casey Troy. Now trying to go in there again is Wilhelm. Overran it. Goes back. Melissa Wilhelm. Got it on the right boot. Kicks into open space. Nearly took out 2 runners in the process. Going close towards the scoreboard on the far side. Almost keeping the ball in play, but just escorting it over was Alexandra Pike. And we'll throw it back into play. 14-point lead to Philadelphia over Sacramento. It's strange. I mean, Philadelphia's had all the play, but they really haven't put Sacramento away yet.
No, and Sacramento has put some pretty decent defensive stands together, but they also really haven't, I don't think they've been inside the offensive 50 yet. So all they need to do is link some up. That's always really been their MO, even when they were playing in Division I, Pete, is the fact that they need that link up play and they need that target forward, and they just still don't have it yet. The ball goes up on the far side now, and it's popped up in the air. Here comes Erica Sacchi. First time we've called her name today. Goes handball back, long handball. That's Troy who finds Terse, sends that one forward. It'll clean bowl the defender there in Sakara, I believe. Check that. And that was 21, who we don't have here. As that one will go through. Gartner looked like she was diving in for a try. Long handball back for for Terse rather, and the ball will go in there. And yeah, number 10, I don't think is Karen Stablin. She's too short to be Karen Stablin. We'll have a ball up 3/4 of the way towards the goal.
Okay, I'll scratch that out. I was taking a wild guess on that one, I have to admit, because we did have a blank sheet of numbers given to us prior to the game. Overrunning the football there and trying to pick it up there, Lauren Kelly. And throw it into the ground here. The umpire is going to say holding the football. Umpire Laurie Roop, who has brought up the frequent flyer miles this year. Did the AFL Euro Cup over in Sweden. Did the first ever women's game of Aussie rules, an international women's game between USAFL All-Stars and the Bogota Bulldogs in Colombia this year as well. And of course a number of regional and now national tournaments. As the mark is taken deep in defence here for the Sacramento Suns. They'll have an opportunity to come out. They do have a player on him, Christine Falk. They want to go to her side. Falk is going to be in the contest here. Got front posse, knocked out of her hands though by Casey Cox. Umpire's blowing the whistle and says that is a throw, and we'll give a free kick going the way of the Philadelphia Hawks. And taking it there and backing back is the 21 in Casey Cox.
Cassie Cox, yep, number 21, and I've really been impressed with her. She's just come up over the last 2 years. She's very good leadership skills, and she's going to go in short again in the Gartner direction. Clean bowls her. She's going to shove aside Green, turns and snaps for a goal right in front. And did she get? Oh, did she get her foot too? No, she didn't. It was touched through the number 12, who I don't have here, but she does get credit for a point. So on the Cooper scoreboard, it's Philadelphia 15, Sacramento 0. Philadelphia 2-3-15, Sacramento 0. And Typoletti will put the ball back in the play. She comes all the way out from the back from the goal square, and it's picked off nicely by guess who? It's Danny Marshall. And it's amazing, Pete, because I remember us seeing this last year, and I think we knew ahead of time that if she had a good tournament, we would see how far along she would go. She bombs that one into the square. That is tipped on the line. Oh, my goodness. Another rush behind, another bomb from Danny Marshall. Philadelphia 16, Sacramento 0. Philadelphia 2-4-16, Sacramento 0.
Go take a look back online at the VFL final series. I think it was the game against Richmond or Collingwood, one of them where Danny Marshall unloaded a 60-odd metre bomb on the wing, and you're in awe when you see it as the ball goes over the boundary line and out of bounds. Particularly when, I guess, one criticism of the women's game, not just here in America but overseas, is, oh, they can't kick more than 35 and 40. Have you met Danny Marshall?
Yes.
Have you met Taylor Harris? Have you met Sarah Perkins?
Yes, absolutely. And I'll tell you what, you know, that's the thing is we talk about it, and Kim Hemingway a couple of years ago was like, oh, yeah, let them put super goals in AFLW because they were talking about it at the time. Yeah. Let them do it. We'll just prove them wrong anyway.
Yeah, the 40-metre line.
Yeah, the 40-metre line.
They did it at the one-off State of Origin game.
Yeah, get out of here with that.
Because the quote I think I heard from the time from the person in charge, oh, they do it in hockey. Great, this is Aussie rules though. As the ball is
dropped it.
Yes, dropped it cold there. Marshall trying to get a hand pass away up the top of the square. There's a mad rush on here. This is like peak hour. Everyone's going all over the place and no one's really achieving anything. Hurry kick out of the pack. Just went past the sideways of Mundia to try and pick it up. Now an opportunity here for the Hawks through Angel Bishop. Angel Bishop swings around on the right. They're acting as goalkeeper on the line here for the Sacramento Suns. We'll just see it come off hands and go through for a minor score.
That was Jenna, again, that was Jenna Tepoletti, number 28. Some of these numbers are wrong, I think, because that isn't Erin Schaefer, because Erin Schaefer's a redhead. So, on the Cooper...
And God bless them.
Yeah.
There's not enough. 2% of the world are redheads.
And on the Coopers, no comment. On the Coopers scoreboard, 2-5, 17-0. It's 17-0. Philadelphia out to the near side, one-on-one contest, laying herself into the football and then trying to hold her up and dragging her opponent down was the number 20 there, unlisted for Philadelphia. And then they'll sit on that one and ball it up as the number 8 Well, I'm not sure who that is, number 8, but we'll have a ball up in front, right in front of us. Danny Marshall going up against the number 7, Itzel Perez, as Marshall wins that one, of course. That one goes right through the defense of, that might be Schaefer, number 8.
Has to be an Arizona Hawks player by the shorts.
Well, no, the other one here, that might be Erica Titus-Slay, who is listed as 38 and is wearing number 8. This is Aaron Schaefer, who puts it forward.
And trying to put it in the path of Liz Danielson, who tried to mow over a few players on the way through. If you're a bigger body player, attack the ball hard, because the others won't be able to bring you down. Take it to your advantage, and gets a 50-meter penalty. So Danielson is a forward. Now the question is this going to be in her range?
Well, I mean, she has I don't think the
not
distance
from 50,
is the issue.
yeah. It was, we're wondering if it's 25 or 50. It ended up being like a 35. let's just call it even. Yeah. Now decides to swing it around inside 50. Oh, that's just bounced off the chest there of the player in, I think it was Aldana back there. Lost control of it. Lurking around there. Houston there for the Hawks. Can't quite get it out. Swing around the Suns. Another opportunity. They try to trap it at the feet. Bounced away. And wanted to have a crack at it there was Monda. Didn't do so for the Suns. Kicked by the Hawks out towards the far side of the ground. Danced around, put it on the right boot. Coming in to lay the tackle there is Erica Saki, the legendary Erica Saki. Now moves it towards the wing position. Got to keep control here as the hooter sounds. Time expires for halftime.
That was an awfully quick first half, it seemed like, but it did. But we are at halftime, and the score on the Cooper scoreboard, it's the Philadelphia Hawks 2-5-17, Sacramento no score. Pete, you said it earlier, obviously all one-way traffic on the scoreboard, but the Philadelphia are not really dominating the game just yet, and they haven't put it away.
No, it's just a case of they need that link up between the middle of the ground and the half-forward flank. If they can get that going and get it to Danielson. It was nice to see Danielson come through the middle of the ground to try and get her hands on the ball, but really Danielson needs to be at home, needs to be 30 metres out, and it needs to be put right on her chest so she can go back and have that important shots on goal. They've just got to find someone who can give that run and carry, or like we see for Philadelphia with Danny Marshall, someone who's got that big kick in them. For example, Paige Kicker from Minnesota. Yep. She's another one of those players who can go, right, I can launch in the middle of the ground and put into that dangerous spot inside 50.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's the thing that they need to utilize that more. But the good news is with Danny Marshall is they are using her as a rover so she can show up everywhere. And you mentioned Danielson. That's been Sacramento's MO. They always have people that are coming through. They leave that forward 50 just barren. We're going to take a moment and step aside, come right back for the second half of this one. You're watching the 2019 USAFL National Championships here on Go Live Sportscast. Back here at the Premier Sports Complex campus here in Lakewood Ranch, Florida, the second half of this game between the Philadelphia Lady Hawks and the Sacramento Lady Suns. Philadelphia leads 17-0 as we have 20 more minutes of football left in the day. And we just talked to Marianne Herring, who is Danny Marshall's mother, and both the two of us want to say hello to her dad, Doug, to Danny's dad, Doug, who's watching back home in Colorado.
I know Doug has sent me emails before when she was playing the VFLW game. She's on the radio this week. Can we listen to her?
All right, we're underway. Sacramento, can they at least get on the board and close the gap here? We'll find out as they rumble through there, and Wilhelm takes her down with a half Nelson. We'll have a secondary ball up in the middle of the ground. Very interesting first half. Leslie Gartner, the star for Philadelphia, and Marshall again still in the ruck. Here is the 13, which is Pike. She's going to send that one forward, and goes to send that one on a bit, and again getting thrown down to the ground there was the number 10 in Bressiker. And now the Suns will come out. There's a left-footed boot, one-on-one contest. Bishop couldn't get to it. And then staying with the football now. Here comes, and now picking it up is Stokely, who just got rid of it, but I think she's going to get pinged. Yes, she didn't get rid of it in time, and it'll be a free kick. It'll be Itzel Perez who gets the free kick for Sacramento.
Pinned by umpire Laurie Roop as Danny Marshall traps the ball and sees the ball over the boundary line and out of bounds. I should mention the umpires, even though we did pick on one or two about the slightly incorrect signals when they go for a goal or something like that. Speaking to Wayne Kraska, by the way, of the Atlanta Kookaburras, who plays in the lower division, his comment to me was, particularly even for the lower divisions, he goes, the lower division umpire standard years ago was very, very average. He goes, it's the outstanding that how the umpiring has improved in such a dramatic way. He says not over the years, but particularly at this tournament alone.
Yeah, and Laurie Roop is one of the reasons why. And you mentioned that she goes all over the place. If she could clone herself, she'd be in Europe for the Euro Championships this weekend. But the education has gotten a lot better, especially with the process during the regionals where they had the headsets.
As the umpire blows the whistle and says that's a holding infringement, and it will be going the way of the Philadelphia Hawks. And now getting onto the football and just going back to take her position, Diane Welch from the Boston Lady Demons actually had a chance to walk by John Moakley Park earlier this week, which is the home training venue of the Boston Demons, and said hello as well to Bill Robert, who'll be watching online, who of course is Stateside Footy, who films a lot of the regular season Boston Demons games. Long in towards the forward line, all wrapped up here. Going to ground, I think, was the player and Schaefer, who tried to get the hand pass out. Now on the right boot, it's a hook on it, but it will bounce before it goes out. No, it's just staying in. Now it's escorted over the boundary line and out of bounds. Seen over by Erica Titus-Lay.
And a great job by Rose Stokely to throw her shoulder into it. 38 might actually be Andrea Squilla. Yeah, that's Andrea Squilla, number 38. Again, Sacramento's numbers all messed up, so we're sorry about that. We're doing the best we can. Bishop throws in there. Mentioned the shoulder by Stokely. This is her second ever game of Aussie Rules football. She's played a couple of Metro games, but this is her first live game just because of her work schedule. And I'll tell you what, she's done a fantastic job just watching her as well, and you can see really tenacious, which is good. Look at that flying run by Marshall. My goodness. She knows she still has AFLW to play, right? My goodness. On the far side, the Hawks have it. Terse is smothered, and that's going to be a call. It's going to be a free kick. It will go the way of the Suns. And I believe going back to take that might be Titus-Lay there, number 10. She's going to send that one forward. Ricochets off the shins of one of the Suns players. Flock is in there as well, and it is cryogenically frozen in there just like Walt Disney's head, and we'll have a ball up in the center square. No change in the score since halftime. Philadelphia 17, Sacramento nothing.
Winning it is Danny Marshall again, trying to come through, but without the football. Melissa Wilhelm. Now the hurried hand pass out, immediately caught on that occasion was Rose Stokey. Oh, look at this, like a hot knife through butter. Here's a bounce, and all players have been finding it awkward to bounce on this surface, even though it's a nice flat surface. Lauren Kelly immediately wrapped up, and the umpire will ask for the football back. No, he says holding the football according to his signal, and it will be a free kick going the way of the Suns. And the player with the football is the number 10 by the look of it, and Bracia. As she goes out towards the other side of the two center circles, coming in to wrap it up, Angel Bishop, and the umpire again will call for a ball up and will reset play here. 17-0 Philadelphia leading the Sacramento Suns. Sacramento were a former Division 1 side before dropping down to Division 2, winning the title last year. as much as they are losing this game, Brian, they will have the chance to defend the title because they do qualify for the semi-final stage.
Yeah, unless they can kick 3 straight kicks here, they'll be staring down at the very strong DC side, who you just saw defeat Texas. And I'll tell you what, Pete, DC, like I said, they're a borderline Division I side. Watch out for that next year as the ball once again is tied up, and the umpire once again, I believe, has crossed his arms like the Monsignor, and we'll have a ball up directly across from us. It's been an absolutely wonderful day, and we're glad that the folks at Go Live Sportscast could bring it to you. Frank there in the truck here on Division II, Kelly over in Division I, and all the camera folks who have been up here in the hot, blazing kind of Florida sun. Tapoletti gets the football, but she had 3 players on her, and I think she's going to get absolutely and utterly pinged, and it's going to be a free kick, and the winner of that is Melissa Wilhelm. So here is Melissa Wilhelm as she goes forward inside 50. No white jumpers there except for Pike, marked again by Tapoletti. We mentioned she won the longest kick yesterday, Pete. 48 yards is what she kicked it. 47, which if she was playing in the men's would have put her in second.
Wow. That is just wow. As we have the football here, that's almost good for an NFL punter.
I was going to say, I think she might have the Texans on line too.
As the umpire says, we'll call for the football back. She'll take the call. If it's the Miami Dolphins, I'm not at home.
No.
I'm not at home. As we wait for the resulting free kick to be taken here by the Sacramento Suns, deep in defense. 45 meters out from goal, and the kick up the line is just being knocked away here from the hands of the Suns player. Wilhelm will get the football. It'll be off the side of the boot and will dribble over the boundary line and almost out of bounds. Just
Still
going close to it. Yeah, it goes Gartner over the top of the football. Gartner now gets it back, bounced off one, then got a right boot kick going forward. Second in the queue was Welch, didn't get there. Hurry kick by the Suns. Marshall is waiting there, not attacking the ball, just waiting for it to come out the side. Salter Candy got on the left from 50 meters out. Hook on the kick, though. Didn't quite execute it as much as she would have liked to. And the ball dribbles over for a reset and play.
Not a bad result, though, with the boundary throw. And, dancing with the star stuff a little bit, going left and right. And you see the patience there to wait. She knew that Terse was going to have the ball. She was clear, and you could see the great patience, great intelligence. Well, she's going to swoop onto this one, Danny Marshall. She wins it. She makes one player miss, steadies, but again, it's Tapoletti who is able to intercept it, and it will go out to the near side. Off the chest there of Sakara, I believe. And going to pick that one up again is Terse. Terse with a good shot for goal, but Tapoletti is there, and she takes a nice catch. Been really impressed with her. She's been pretty cool under pressure, and there's been a fair bit of it, and she's made nice marks. Now let's see if she can unleash one of those bombs. Out to the near side, off the hands of Erin Schaefer-Graham. Over to get it is Bishop. Bishop runs into an attack there, and again, that looks like Troy, I believe. Yeah, Casey Troy, number 14. For the Arizona Lady Hawks, playing for this Philadelphia side. Still no change in the score. Philadelphia 17, Sacramento nothing. And you would think, Pete, if they could just, it's almost like running out the clock, just like defending in cricket. You think 17-0 might be a good score to come home by.
Indeed, and doing the ruck work there is Villa, and the umpire says a holding infringement. Now Villa, will she get it, or her teammate? No, she pointed the wrong way, so it will be a free kick going instead to the Philadelphia Hawks. Number 7 will just kick it up the line looking for Angel Bishop, and Bishop takes the resulting mark. She is about 55 metres out from goal. Off the side of the boot, very close towards the boundary line, bounced off the chest, over and out. Now, one thing that I think is being advantageous for the Philadelphia Hawks, we know that Boston Prairie has been struggling a little bit, but particularly for the DC Eagles and the New York Magpies, is the regular amount of football they're playing through the EAFL.
Yeah, and that's something that we're going to, hopefully, we'll see how it goes for next year. Would be great to consolidate that, and especially with Columbus as well, Pete, to make sure they get more football. As the Hawks are forced to, well, here comes Barb Dempsey, but that one's going to be picked off by Stokely. Oh, yep, that was a throw. And it was interesting that you can see Danny Marshall just showing the second gamer, Rose Stokely, what to do. And she knew as soon as the ball left her hand. You could see she made absolutely no motion. But you know what? It's everybody starts somewhere, and that's going to be picked off, I believe, by Bishop. So here is Angel Bishop. We'll put that one up high. Pike got shoved away, and then here comes, I think that might be Greenblatt, who's wearing number 3, and that one goes through. Squilla able to pick that one up, and then hugged by Marshall. That allows Terse to send that forward. She's going to turn it over, and the mark is taken there by the number 10, who is Brescher. Brescher's going to send that one up high. Squilla takes the mark. Squilla from Sewell, New Jersey, just outside of Philadelphia, actually. And playing, I'm sure when she started playing, there was no Philadelphia Lady Hawks. Picked up. She's going to get the ball back off of a handball from Titus Lay. Sends that one in. Avila. No, they didn't pay it. She thought they did. Wilhelm is in there, and as is Marshall, and Danny Marshall. It skitters across like a cockroach on the bathroom floor, kills a family of worms in the process. Running back to get it, I believe, again, was Titus Lay. She's going to send that one out to the near side. Marshall. Yes. Great mark by Danny Marshall. She was always going to be first in that contest.
When in problem, Hollera Marshall she now works it sideways. Calls for the football back. It's a little chip kick over the top. Got space to run, and away she goes. Gets on the right boot. Swings it around towards true centre half forward. Bouncing football. Who's going to try and get onto the end of it? Leslie Gartner is there. Overran it because she had too much speed. But she comes in to lay the tackle, and the umpire says no, that's played on. She got the fair hand pass out there as Tapaletti, and the umpire blows the whistle and says now it will be a ball up. As you mentioned earlier, Tapaletti has been David Bowie and Queen under pressure, but she stood up well.
Yeah, or Billy Joel if you prefer, as the ball comes back in the play. Knocked down, Bishop has it. She's going to roll around looking for Wilhelm, but it's picked up by Avila. Anissa Avila dropped the pill, and Bishop is there. Little scoop pass looking for Wilhelm. Wilhelm just gets it to the boot. Knocked down by Greenblatt. Goes and picks that one up. Again, that's Pike. Pike goes up high, marked, and she's going to play on. And Gardner is there, but it's going to scoop from behind. The number 19 was Miklas, and that's another rookie. And I think another rookie mistake there, Pete, to not know. Come back, take the mark, and take your time and go. So that's our first score of the half, I believe. It's Philadelphia 18, Sacramento nothing. Philadelphia 2 straight 18, Sacramento nothing. Here on Go Live Sportscast, Peter Holden, that's him. I'm Brian Barish. Great to have your company. Again, 8 a.m. tomorrow morning. We'll be right back here. The page you're watching us from, just come right back here. And, of course, we'll have the divisional grand finals starting at 1 p.m. Eastern. That's over on ESPN3. The Division 1 for the women will be at 3 p.m.
And all being well, we hope to film the Division 2 one for you and have it uploaded at a later stage. As the ball is going over the boundary line, but of course keep an eye on the social media pages for those up-to-date scores in case you're in a geo-blocked area and you can't watch. Just keep an eye on the social media and we'll look after you there. As the ball goes not over the boundary line because the umpire pulled out a free kick for too high. And Green had to give it away, and in the end it's taken by the number 7 here. Might be Casey Troy out there for the Philadelphia Hawks. That's right off the side of the boot. Green goes in there, got brought to ground immediately. Umpire blows the whistle and says, that's holding the football. You asked for it, you got caught, and now you have coughed it up. So we wait for the ball to be brought back into play. And of course, for those at home, the Division 2 finals lead first, followed by the Division 1.
That's the semifinals, because finals mean something.
Oh,
different.
yes.
The playoffs. Playoffs? But playoffs? Playoffs. Oh, God bless Jim Mora, wherever the heck he is.
Oh, my.
Listen, he did coach the Philadelphia Stars back in the day, so he at least has some bit of a link to Philly sports history as the ball goes to ground once again. And that one will go forward, and Leslie Gartner looking for a call and not sure what's happening. And they're bringing the ball back. It looks like it's going to be a free kick, and it will go to Erica Titus-Lay. I believe that's Erica Titus-Lay. Again, the numbers are all messed up here, so we're doing our best. So that might be Sarah Brescher. Brescher is going to send that one forward. And Dempsey takes the mark. How about 48-year-old Barb Dempsey, who was the best and fairest winner from Philadelphia last year? She's going to send that one on. ball goes to ground. I think she's the oldest player in the competition this year. It's picked up by Danny Marshall. Danny Marshall makes 2 players miss. Sends that one inside 50. Does she have a target? No, she doesn't. And it's picked off there by Izzy Greenblatt, number 17.
Does anyone have the heart to break the news to Barbara Dempsey of, hey, Lauren Arnell's mum back in Australia has played till she's 69. You've got 21 more years to go.
but knowing Barb, no, she'll play until she can't walk anymore.
As the ball goes over the boundary line and out of bounds. It is absolutely fantastic to see, and I don't want to mention to a couple of the women's players here because I know some are in their 30s, but it's like USAFL Women's Masters rules. That could be a thing. That could be a thing in a few years' time.
Well, we'll see. I mean, there's enough. There's enough to where they can do it.
Well, we've got the men's Masters and Legends, so who knows? You may soon have the women's Masters and Legends as the ball is close towards the boundary line, and Troy wants to go in there. Can't extract the football. And it's all locked up. Looking in over the top, Diane Welch. And once again, we'll call for a ball up. Of course, as we mentioned before, the Boston Demons, their coach, though, lives in Florida. Lisa Orendundo.
Still president of the Women's Association as well.
As just bouncing off players. Troy now sizes it up. Oh, it's a beautiful delivery, beautiful pass. And finding there, number 19, Abigail Miklas from the Hawks. And has the Danny Marshall style kick, that kind of leaning slightly forward and that quick little action of the legs, but it's effective and it's a goal.
And it is, and that on the Cooper scoreboard moves them on to 3-6-24. Sacramento no score. It's Philadelphia 24, Sacramento no score here on Go Live Sportscast. Well, you learn from the best. I mean, and the thing is this is her first season, and Danny is worth mentioning. As much time as Danny spent in Australia, she has spent a fair part of the year back in Arizona, so a lot of that knowledge imparted. And it's funny listening to you talk on the VFLW broadcast, listening to Matthew Cox talk about it as well. It looks kind of clunky, it looks kind of interesting, but boy is it effective. So the ball goes back in the middle of the ground once again, and now a 24-0 Sacramento.
Well, I should mention a former Sacramento player and also how she's helping the USAFL, and that is Katie Klatt. Of course, this year she's playing for the San Francisco Iron Maidens, but originally out of Sacramento. She, of course, has created a handbook as well, which is great to have it from a USAFL player's perspective.
Picking that one up is the number 6 there. That's Katie Ree. And the umpire says, give that to me, we'll ball it up. Of course, Ree along with Diane Welch, the other Boston players playing for Philadelphia. The two of them actually, Alex Pike as well. They came down to Philadelphia back for their Philadelphia's first full game back in May, and they defeated the New York Magpies, albeit a team that was missing some of their better players, but still it was a historic win. And picking that one up is Brescher, who will send that one forward. It'll hop in front. Chasing after it is the 21 in there, which is Cassie Cox. Cox again going in after the number 8 for Sacramento. It finds Gartner. Gartner has Greenberg if she wants her. She's going to line up, kick that one inside 50, back to get it, and the mark made. What a catch made by, I'm not sure. Oh no, that's Stablin. Karen Stablin, number 17, takes the mark. And she's, of course, a former Freedom and Liberty product. She'll go in. The kick is on the way. It is touched on the line. It's still in play. There is the 3 who I believe was, well, not Greenblatt, but over to get to it. And again, here is Stablin. Stablin throws it onto the left, and a nice mark again by Tapoletti. I'll tell you what, it almost seems sometimes like they are playing goal like in soccer, and you look at her motions, and that's exactly what it looks like.
And just charging through the middle there, Erica Saki almost ended up roadkill out of that play. Hurry kick out of there by Husing, who went long towards the half-forward, towards the forward pocket position, rather. Husing had to go back again. Sizes it up. Oh, had the ball momentarily. Pike squeezed out of her hands. Hurry kick there by Ree, and it finds a mark. Olivia Husing backs up, goes to do the team thing towards the top of the goal square, and perhaps she should have gone back and had a shot. And they will come out of defence there, I think, by Perez, who now moves it towards the half-back flank position, very close towards the boundary line. Coming in to lay the tackle, she's been ferocious, Lauren Kelly. Now the hurried snap, and a mark on the knees there for the Sacramento Suns, just 10 metres out from that behind post.
And that's where they've been for most of the game. They've only really had the one foray forward, Peter. And the Hawks just keeping them pinned in. They're going to send it back from whence it came. And ball goes to ground. Pike looking for the footy. Little chip kick in top. Marshall, or rather that was Husing off of one step. Again, the ball goes to ground. It clean bowls Gartner, but has room. Little shovel pass for Turse. Sends that one in towards the sticks. Tapoletti will watch that one go through for a minor score. Only the second point of the half for either team. Philadelphia 19, Sacramento no score. Here on Go Live Sportscast, Brian Barish alongside Peter Holden. Now, I actually may have said that wrong. It's 25-0. I'm sorry. I don't want to confuse anybody. It's Philadelphia 20.
They've still got the scoreboard showing 24, but I think they're having a debate if it's the correct score or not.
All right, so we think it's 25, right?
We'll go with 25.
25-0 is what we have as the score up here. So Philadelphia 25, Sacramento nothing. Stablin runs through, kicks that one forward, and that one's going to get picked off, and back the other way they come. Into the knees there. Saki takes her player down. Husing crawls on top of the football, trying not to drag it in, able to get it away, and Avila able to get it up the far side. It'll roll, it'll skip, it'll hop, and now digging in is Danny Marshall, who has moved up down to the fullback, and that is it. And the Philadelphia Hawks have gone 2-0 in pool play. They take out Pool B, and they've taken this one decisively. The final score, the Philadelphia Hawks, 3 goals, 7 behinds, 25 points. Sacramento no score. Pete, Philadelphia, well, they've won those 2 games. And obviously the difference maker was Marshall, but as we saw in the second half, they have other players can step up. Gartner, who they unfortunately won't have tomorrow because of work, but they'll have other players as well, like Erica Saki and Cassie Cox.
And they're going to be coming up against tomorrow the Montreal-Chicago combination. Some of those Philly and Boston players would, of course, played against Montreal when teaming up with New York for some of those tournaments throughout the year. So that'll be an interesting to see because they'll know each other well. For Sacramento, however, they have got a date with the red-hot DC Eagles.
Yeah, it's going to be very difficult. The Eagles, as you said, the hottest team coming in. They have a lot of talent. We saw their win over Texas was pretty emphatic. That's going to be a test. And as we said, DC, it's been amazing to see them come up. And you know, it's been a program in flux for many years. And now they've seemed to have put it together. That's going to do it for us, unless you have anything else you want to say.
Well, I'm looking forward to everyone's company at 8 o'clock tomorrow morning Eastern Time, 5 a.m. Pacific, and that's 11 p.m. Sunday night for those in Melbourne, Australia.
We'll have the 4 women's games here on Field 2. Over on Cooper's Field, we'll have 4 Division I pool games on the men's side as well, so stay tuned for that. Thanks to Frank in the truck and to everyone from Go Live Sportscast. For Peter Holden, my name is Brian Barish. Until tomorrow, you've been watching the 2019 USAFL National Championships from Lakewood Ranch, Florida, here on Go Live Sportscast. It's goodbye for now.